Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here we are, week 3 in the off season. Been super busy with work lately, so sorry about the sparse uploads, but I am trying to at least keep that consistent weekly update for you all. And if I can, I'll try and get some other videos out in between, but no promises, just as we're entering kind of the home stretch of the school year, and it was just the end of the term for term 3, so everything's been pretty busy on my end for work. Now, with that said, the journey continues with lifting, right? Even when things get busy, I don't miss a day of training or anything like that, but I do tend just to slow down on social media and all of that good stuff as well. So day 1 continues to be far and away the most challenging day of the week, just as it's the most volume, and especially these Bulgarian split squats back to back with regular safety bar squats. By the end of these, I'm definitely burnt out. So for the sets of 8 on regular squats, I was up to 450 pounds, and as you saw, still moved really well, and I would say even better than last week as far as work capacity goes. And then I'm still kind of learning the groove on these safety bar split squats, but all the way up to a plate for these. Now, I was certainly very sore after completing them, but the strength is coming around really quickly, as you know, I'm just getting better at the skill. So those were the two main things from day 1. Of course, I have other leg exercises in and around that. I think I mentioned last week that I do reverse hyperextensions before every workout right now. So kind of pre-fatiguing those hamstrings and low back right off the bat. Now here we are for day 2. I would have liked to have recorded more of this, but I did dumbbell overhead press, and then here I am with dumbbell bench press, being really sure to get the full range of motion and squeezing at the top with these, just slowly inching up week by week. So I think this week I was up to 90 pound dumbbells, I'm wanting to say 85 or 90 pounds, and then following these off with dips, which I went up to sets of 15. Now, I've been losing weight, so I'm down about 13 pounds from where I was at Nationals. Nationals, I weighed in at 303, which was my first time ever above 300 pounds. And knock on wood, probably the only time I'll ever be that heavy. And I'm just dieting down, so I'm down to about 290 at this point. So dips are getting easier, obviously, up to sets of 15 from my first week, which were sets of 10. So I'll continue to push those as the weeks progress. And then on day 3, we open up with one-legged leg press, which I've been really liking these to isolate one leg over the other. I notice it's significantly harder with my right leg, so maybe we can bring those back into balance, and there will be some, marginal differences on squats and deadlifts and things like that from this exercise. And what it does is it sets me up to be kind of pre-fatigued for these deadlifts, which you're about to see. Now, I made a rookie mistake in forgetting my belt this day, and I actually really don't like training without my belt. It's not that I can't do it. I just think, there's no use not to practice how you play with the belt. So I ended up doing some beltless deadlifts, which these were the first time I've done any compound exercise without a belt in probably the 8 years I've been with Bill. Not a huge fan of beltless training. Maybe I'll make a video on the side about why that is, but got through them, as you saw, still really fast, no harm, no foul in that department. And that leads me to day 4, which is probably my longest day of the week, opening up with what's supposed to be a 5-second pause squat. Obviously, it's kind of hard in your head. I try and just count to 5, and then I add an extra couple counts. So I basically count to 7, and in the hopes that that would be pretty close. Honestly, these are probably closer to 3.5 second pauses, but either way, I feel like they're serving their purpose. I'm getting that big stretch at the bottom of the squat, and then I'm losing all stretch reflex or inertia or anything like that. I said inertia, I meant momentum from the lift. So we're trying to have to break inertia again, almost like a deadlift with the bar on your back, right? So these move pretty well. They actually feel a little slower than they look. We'll see my last set here. So that one was set number 2. This one's set number 5 as I do a 5x5. Weights are still pretty light at 450 pounds, but things kind of ramp up fast as we're moving in these like 20-pound increments, it seems like. But overall, I'm feeling good. No real aches and pains. I did up my knee sleeves to the traditional 7mm knee sleeve. This is a great example of how I'll cycle through the different types of knee sleeves. I only use the really aggressive 7mm ones for my really heavy training and getting ready for meet. This is a great example of a time where I'll use the regular 7mm. And then as you saw, the past couple of weeks I've been using the 5mm sleeves where they just give more like comfort rather than support. And I will say, you saw me wearing sleeves on my day 3 with the deadlifts and the one-legged leg press. Those were the 5mm sleeves as well from SBD. Then to wrap up the week, we've got bench press. So this was supposed to be a pin press, but the bench that I use for the pin press setup was actually being used. And because of time reasons, I wanted to not wait around for the bench. So instead, I just did a slight pause regular bench press, which should be no issue. And everything's feeling good. So that little pec strain I had leading into nationals seems to be a non-issue now. We're taking it really slow and just slowly ramping up the weights, which is exactly what I want to do because I think I've rushed it a little in the past. But here we are finishing up with bamboo bar bench press for some stability work, upping the weight just a little bit at a time each week. And that kind of closes things off. So as always, I appreciate you all watching and following along. We're kind of in no man's land as far as training goes, but that's a great time just to focus on getting better and building up those weak spots. So as always, I appreciate you all and happy lifting.